All right, welcome back, guys. This is the second segment, third webisode, I guess you could say. Third webisode. We are here with Joven and Tuan once again, and this time we are going straight into what are takeovers, which you pretty know what they are. Why are they here? Why did they become takeovers, and what were they before? We touched base on this for a little bit, going back to I guess the Berlin Turnpike days. So this is way back because not a lot of people go on the Berlin Turnpike here in CT anymore. But the Turnpike has been around since like the 50s or something.
Pike nights were wild, but they were tamed at the same time. Everybody used to come out, bring their cars out. We meet up in the parking lot of a closed business, and it was like a after hours car meet with like a little bit of race culture involved too. So it was cool. But everybody had like, there was like unspoken rules. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you'd have a guy come in the parking lot, sick rear-wheel drive car. He'll rip a couple donuts and then stop and then park up or leave the parking lot because he's making shit hot for everybody.
Yep.
And then like everybody would chill, check out each other's bills, talk, make friends. It wasn't Facebook and all this other nonsense. But then like this takeover stuff started, and I feel like it kind of comes from that. But it's a mixture of that meat type of environment combined with who can do the most outrageous thing and get the most attention.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because right now it is crazy. I'm seeing videos where people are just like smacking a game, flown into crowds and just pulling out guns and stuff
it's like a
that.
fucking anime, bro.
Oh my god, nonsense.
Wow.
Dudes are flying, their shoes are flying, guns are flying off
Oh
of them.
my god.
Dude, I went to, so shout out to Eliminate and Randy for having me out in California last year in San Jose area. Dude, literally second night, Randy's brother went to like a takeover area and a G37 was doing donuts, and I guess he hit somebody's car, and you know what they do? They rush as a mob around the car, start hitting, start braking, and dude pulls out a gun, shoots right at the car.
Wow.
Has bullet holes and everything. The G37 takes off. He posts on his Instagram story, "This is what you guys did to my car. Car is trashed." Kid could have died. Had to be in his like early 20s.
But why? Like
Right?
that's the shit that blows my mind. It's like, all right, if you want to go to a takeover, get in the middle of the road where cars doing donuts, you get hit by one, or you
At
get
least
two.
be experienced at driving, bro.
Thank you.
Go to a couple of drift clinics, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Or if you're not experienced in driving, don't get mad when you go into that environment and somebody
Right.
else hits your car,
Yeah.
or you hit somebody's car. Like you,
Or even if you get hit, like the
Right.
kid who got hit and pulled out a gun, why are you going towards a car with your phone trying to get close as possible when you know you can get hit, and then all of a sudden you get hit like, yo,
and you're mad that
and
you
you're
got
mad
hit.
about that.
Why?
Like,
This makes
crazy.
zero sense.
But I think that's the lure of takeovers, right? It's like having high adrenaline. They have open diffs most of the time, you know. Half the cars are not even rear-wheel drive, you know. They're just understeering into crowds. And that's, you know, lack of experience. And, you know, they've never experienced anything like it. So when these type of people go to that, you know, they get a lot of adrenaline. They just hop in there and do their thing, and
Yeah.
they don't know what the hell they're doing.
exactly. And not only that, now like we can trace back is now you have a phone that you're literally going live or you're uploading to Instagram or Facebook, and that thing is just gonna like snowball effect. They're like, oh man, this is what's happening at this area, let's go there. So it started off as 5-10 people at one time. Everybody knows about it now. It could turn into 1,000 people.
Right.
Now it's like, okay, 1,000 people, it's too many people here, let's do it at this section. So I think that's the main reason why takeovers started, because it's being recorded and spread, and it's just literally just spreading like crazy. I remember I was following this Instagram guy. His name was Sideshow Tone.
I remember Sideshow Tone.
I never knew what a sideshow was, and he
Yeah.
was doing crazy stuff like this in the beginning, but he wasn't getting hate for it. I never saw an Instagram post where he actually got hate for it, and I think it was because that was like the beginning of sideshows.
Right. Mm-hmm. See, I am not like in any position to stand on my high horse and tell you guys don't do this. Like, I have street drifted in every way. I have taken cones. I've taken
Cone killer.
like I've taken barricades from Public Works that was working on a street and shut down an entire section of a block in the city.
Yep.
And just ripped street drifting the whole time. But there were parameters involved to make sure like things just didn't get out of hand. Like we weren't gonna go crashing into people or drawing this massive crowd. We just wanted to drive.
Yeah.
And like have fun ripping our cars. Like we did not have 1,000 people there all recording it on our phones. That was the opposite of what we wanted. You know, that equals trouble. So we just got together and just street drifted. I've done that a million times. But when you have a massive crowd of people blocking off an active intersection of a road that's used by regular everyday people,
Yeah.
it's just a terrible
crazy.
idea. It's just
You're a fucking idiot.
It's nothing cool about
Crazy.
that. Yeah, nah.
Dude, you saw, I think it was Bristol, where they had like a takeover in Bristol and literally demolished the intersection.
Damn.
It's wild.
I think it was like 2 Hyundai Genesises that were
Of
just
course.
like,
Oh my
No hate on the Hyundai guys. No hate. But my fear for this is that there are gonna be repercussions to this.
Yeah.
Eventually. Like, I mean, look at California. You could barely put an exhaust on your car.
dude, California's the worst.
You know what I
state to be
mean?
in.
That's gonna start to spread because lawmakers and police officers and these kind of guys, they don't know the difference between an S13 that's been built precisely for over years of time for drifting and the kid in his dad's SRT8, you know what I mean,
Right.
ripping donuts. Like, they just see a car that's modified ripping donuts.
Yep.
So when you're driving on the road, going for a cruise in your 240 or your R34 or whatever you got, and you're getting pulled over and harassed for nonsense, this is why.
Yep, that is very true. And that goes to, I guess I could tie that into H2OY, how it like started to what it is now. Crazy.
People just ruin things. Great
It
things,
used to be
too.
something that was just a Volkswagen Audi meet. Everybody around the country went to. Slowly started like getting crazy, and now it's to the point where you can't even go there.
Yeah,
They impound your car.
right away.
Yep.
And there'll be, people chasing clout, trying to get the biggest fucking ticket they can get just for social media.
It's all for attention, man.
I don't understand that. That's a head scratcher for me.
Yeah.
I've never been to any of those type of events, so I can't speak for myself.
So I went to H2OY 4 times. The first time I went, it was sick. It was during like a hurricane, and I saw a bunch of people from like Canada, California, Texas, that they came to this meet. And I was like, well, it wasn't even a meet, because it's like the Berlin Turnpike times 10.
Right.
You're on a whole strip, and you just see literally just meets everywhere of different cars, and you're just cruising with people up and down the street, the whole coastal highway, the whole time.
That's dope.
Yeah, that is cool.
It was literally like Japan. And then I went and drove my R32. That was the second time I went, and I drove for 8 to 10 hours in one day, just going up and down, going to different meets, meeting different people I saw on social media. And the last time I went in the R34, another 8 to 10 hours going up and down, shot with Divine Media, Crispy Media, met a bunch of different people. That was the sickest thing. And then the following year was when they were just impounding like crazy.
Yeah.
You couldn't even drive. But I feel like good things started and ended. And I mean, even the turnpike now.
Yeah.
Nobody goes to the turnpike.
Even the turnpike's dead now. I mean, nobody really goes.
Yep.
But that's okay. I mean, just eras start, eras
Yeah.
end. But I mean, social media and the whole attention stuff is getting just way out of hand, you know?
I think TikTok has amplified that.
Oh my God. All these platforms.
Which
All
is
these platforms.
crazy.
Because like you said, you're getting in an algorithm. You want certain attention for different reasons.
Right.
And
Back in the day, like, we got our validation from having fun driving our car.
Yeah.
Like, oh, those parts that I put on and dialed in, they're performing the way I want them to, and my car is driving amazing. Like, that was it. That's all you needed. That took away all your stress, all your anxiety. Like, that was your therapy right there.
Yep.
Now it's just like people seek validation from social media attention, and it's wild.
that is very
So
true.
wild.
That is like spot on.
Yeah. Crazy.
We're getting old.
We are old. We're those old guys wagging our
Because,
canes at you.
but-
Don't do this.
Now, touching onto a new subject, it's you have new car enthusiasts now that are coming in. They're 16 years old. They're now brought up into this whole clout social media thing where it's like, oh, this is the cool thing to do. So it's kind of like not their fault, I guess you could say, but it's kind of hard to learn the old way if you don't have anybody to relate to who's somebody's in their 30s to 50s, whereas you're just a bunch of 16-year-olds just doing stupid stuff
That you
because
see
you
on
saw it
the
on
internet.
TikTok or
Yeah.
Instagram, whatever.
So where does the responsibility come in on our behalf, like on our part?
Exactly.
To push out.
Because all we're doing is just pointing the finger like,
Don't
don't
do
do
this.
that. And you're like, no, you can't hang out with us.
Yeah, and all the kids are like, oh, fuck you, this is
Gatekeepers.
fun. Yeah, where's our, like, we have this responsibility on our shoulders to show, like, these newer guys to the car community how things are supposed to be done.
We got Brendan
What's
down
up,
here.
bro? What's up, man?
Okay.
Everything good?
What's good?
Good to see
What's
you,
good?
bro.
Air depth. Alright. But yeah, I mean, LZ posted something where he was like, you have these takeover people. Let's invite these takeover people to a drift event. Let's teach them how to do these things and what to do. So,
Right. And that's a good idea.
Yeah.
But it just makes me wonder how many of the people are taking part in these takeovers because they want to drive, and how many are taking part in these takeovers because they just want views
True.
or attention. You know, if you can invite them all to a drift event, how many are going to come? There's not much attention that you get from a grassroots drift event.
True.
You know, you might post on your social media, get a couple likes, get some views on your story, but nothing drives up the likes like these negative nonsense videos. You doing madness in the streets, you know? So we got to figure out a way to connect with the younger guys, figure out how to get them in the right direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without being the old guy saying, "Don't do this."
I think another big thing to point out is these kids nowadays, they think buying the cool cars instantly gonna make them cool, right? And you know, Instagram name, hashtag or whatever, SRT underscore their name. It, you know, it brings them attention. What, I'm not judging them on that, but the car is already cool.
Right.
What gives a car character is the driver. So if you're a shitty driver with a cool car, it's just a super negative. You know,
There's
it's
nothing
just
to that.
like it's just it's just I don't know.
Yeah, man.
And people are not showing soul in the car anymore. You know, they just, you know, let's go back to drifting real quick. People want an LS Swap 240 right off the rip with 4-6 gears. They don't even know how to drive the damn car. You know what happened to progression with the car?
Yeah.
You know, and
Going from like a bone stock 100 to 150 horsepower. And that's the whole aspect of overbuilding a car where it's like, no, I don't want that. I just want 400 or 500 horsepower car, wide angle kit, just so I can do this stuff.
Right. Yeah, no.
So it's like, it's handicapping people.
It really is, and I think that's something that maybe is spoken a lot about, but I don't hear people talking about it a lot. But I think that is an issue that should be brought up, and you should progress with your car, not to your car. unlike me, I had to progress to my car. I was already handicapped to begin with, so.
Yeah.
Now, man, my highest horsepower build ever that I still own is my RX-7. My 13B makes like 154 horsepower.
Okay.
Damn, Big Daddy over here.
Absolute
Got
ripper.
the Magnum condoms in the fucking glove box.
But you can get it sideways and you can keep it there. But it requires you to be a decent driver.
Yeah, it forces your hand to drive fast.
Right.
In a slow car.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the world we live in now. Hopefully we see some change. Hopefully we can be the change, like you're saying, rather than pushing people away, invite them or give them a different outlook on, I guess, the car culture now.
Right.
So.
I also want to make sure we touch on the fact that I feel like the vast majority of the takeover crowd aren't actually car enthusiasts.
True.
So I don't want to like shine too much light on them as if they're the next generation of car enthusiasts, because a lot of people do not care whatsoever about cars.
Yep.
Like
Oh, yeah.
at all.
Big
Just
ultimate energy.
Yeah, just want to do nonsense in the street. So I don't want people getting the idea listening to this like this is what we're getting in the car community. It's not. I mean, we still have drift events, we still have meets, we still have car shows.
Yep.
We still got people, taking great pride in their builds. We still got great vlogs to watch. We still have just the coolest people to talk to. Any of these guys, you could reach out to them and get information, get help with your build. Even get people to come turn wrenches with you. I mean, the car community is outstanding and always will be. I just don't want these people being the representation of the car community, because I'm telling you, a massive, massive portion of these people do not care about cars at all.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. That's a good point to bring up. But, that was a quick little segment, and thank you guys for joining us once again. Like I said all the time, if you guys have any ideas, talk about anything and everything. Today we touched upon the new generation takeovers, why it started, what's going to lead to it. If you guys have any thoughts about it, thank you, Twan. Thank you, Joven, once again. Have a good night, guys.
Later.